Hello YouTube, welcome back to our family. If you want to learn more about the reptile hobby's favourite, the ball python, then you are in the right place. So if you can do us a favour, if you can smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, get down in the comment section, that helps the channel hugely. And not only that, I enjoy interacting with you guys as well. So if you've got any questions or queries or any ideas for future content, that is where you need to be. So that just leaves, thank you everybody for the support. This season has been amazing for TOR, and next season only promises to be better and blow this one out of the water, so make sure you'll stay tuned for that. Thank you again for all of your support, and I will leave you to enjoy the video. So kick back, relax, have a brew, and I hope you all enjoy it. So then guys, what are we as breeders getting wrong? Just before we go into it, I am having a dig up no individual here. I am talking about all of us as ball python breeders. I think of us all ball python breeders as one team with this pretty much the same goal. They're all slightly different, but we all aim to produce the best animals that we can. So for that reason, we're all united in the same goal and we all have that same common interest. So you might be sat there thinking, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. That's kind of the point to this video. So the only way that we're going to improve on what we are today is to make changes to better ourselves for tomorrow, and that's the only way we're going to do it. And there's a couple of quite easy changes. So we'll start with the first point, and that is feeding. There is very little to no doubt in my mind that historically over the past 20 years, we as ball python breeders are overfeeding these animals. I've seen far too many adult females that are overweight, and some of my own, even in my own collection a few seasons back, were at risk of becoming overweight, and I became concerned about fatty liver disease. And the reason for that was just because I was told that feed them once a week. One small to medium rat or an extra large multi once a week is what we're supposed to be feeding them, and I just don't think that's the case, guys. I think that is overfeeding in a big way. I have toned it down and I have seen the benefits in my collection from that. So my females are a lot leaner, the slug count is right down, and the body condition of the females just tends to be better. Right then guys, so the benefits of slowing this feeding rate down, which I have seen throughout my collection, and I encourage you all to adopt this. You guys will obviously do as you please, and that's your right, but I'm just going to explain the differences that I've seen. The first of all is the efficiency of it all. I'm going through less rats and less multis, so it's cheaper. There's less waste, so I'm going through less substrate. I'm cleaning a lot less often. There's a lot less time poured into it, feeding and cleaning. And the body condition of the females is far better. The feeding responses is much better, and I am not wasting as many rodents at all. But the key thing, and something that I think is very important, is because we've slowed that rate of feeding down, that means that key time when the females are on it and they want to be taking in them calories, it's easier to switch them on because that change in feeding is more obvious. So if you don't already know, there's a time in the female cycle where they're like, right, I need to take more calories in, and I'm sort of in the area, I think the females do this because if they're in an area where food is plentiful, then they can sort of rest assured that their offspring have got food local, so their offspring can go on to thrive. Obviously, that's not consciously going on in their heads, but instinctively, I feel like it is, and that's the reason why that intake of food encourages the production of follicles. So, because we slowed the feeding rate down, when that time is right, and we bring that feeding rate back up, as it goes up to sort of every 5 to 7 days, but smaller meals. Because it's a more drastic change, it's just like a flick of a switch and you can turn them on. What I will say is I haven't made this change yet to my hatchlings. I am still feeding hatchlings every 7 to 10 days, and that seems to be working just fine. If any of you guys out there have seen benefits to slowing the feeding down to your hatchlings, drop us a message, let me know. I'm keen to hear things like that. But I just haven't had the balls yet to check that one out for myself. With hatchlings being way less resilient than adults, I'm less eager to make that, to experiment with that. So here is one of my adult females, guys. She's been on this more sporadic feeding regime, and just take a look at her body condition, guys. She's nice and chunky. She's not underweight. She's just in a good spot, primed and ready to go for this coming season. And I will weigh her for you now. There she is, guys. That same female on the scales. So she's hitting 2,660 grams. You know, by no means an unhealthy weight. That's 400 grams heavier than she was last time she laid eggs. So, you know, I'm more than happy with that weight. So the next thing that I feel like we get wrong, and I'm a little bit more nervous about putting this one out there, but it is temperature. I believe that the temperatures that we use over here, particularly in the UK on these heated racks, where it is belly heat, and heat, as we know, rises, and the snakes are in direct contact with the belly heat. I believe we're just doing it too warm, and I think if we just cooled it off a little bit, I feel like our slug count will be down, and the sperm production in the males will be much healthier. And don't forget, once you've had a lock from your male and your female, that sperm will then stay alive inside the female. So if she's then on a hot spot of 90+ degrees, you know, that is going to kill off your sperm, and again, you're gonna get slugs. I am a little bit more nervous about saying this because I don't want people to go away and say, "Oh, Joe Tully told me to turn the heat off," and you know they've got snakes with respiratory infection, or they're regurgitating because they can't digest the food, or you know any number of issues that can go wrong with a snake that doesn't have the correct heating conditions. But 88 to 90 degree hotspot, I feel like it is just a little bit on the warm side, and it is only those minute changes, a couple of degrees Fahrenheit, which make the difference. If you take a look at where well, there's a bloody great spider on the wall there, where ball pythons are indigenous to and where they come from. Now, most of the time, people that have come into the hobby, they will hear ball pythons, they come from Togo, Ghana and Benin. That's actually not strictly speaking true. They do come from those countries, but they're the main countries where wild caught snakes are imported from, or captive farmed snakes are imported from. So where these animals are actually indigenous to can actually be found as far west as Sierra Leone and as far east as South Sudan, sort of on the western border. I don't think they make it any further west than that, or not to my knowledge anyway. But they all sit above the equator there, and the temperatures which run along that country, they're all very solid. You know, because it's very close to the equator, you don't get much fluctuation, and it's a very specific set of natural instructions, if you like, to the temperature at which these animals clearly thriving. And we as keepers, I think, need to take note of that. And nowhere in any of those areas will any of them have a 90-degree hotspot. Not unless they're laid on a road or anything like that. But obviously, a snake laid on the road there obviously isn't going to do well. So with all that beared in mind then, 88 Fahrenheit is probably the absolute highest. If I'm temp gunning any of my racks and it's higher than that, I will be turning the thermostat down slightly. And throughout the breeding season, I leave the hotspot alone and just bring down the ambient temperature. I didn't used to do that, but that's what I do now. But I feel like with that with that hotspot being a little bit cooler, it's not killing off that valuable sperm that we need to use to make the egg. That was it, guys. That was all she wrote on this one. If you disagree with anything that I said in this video, I don't mind. Get in the comment section and let us know what you think. I'm all for it, as long as it's put across in a respectful manner, then I am all ears. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. As always, I hope you all got something from it. If you haven't done already, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one.